If you're not straight, say goodbye to family support. Ever since I was little, I had already decided I wouldn't have kids. Even if the reason changed from time to time. When I was younger, it was because I had a little brother. And I really hated him. So I didn't wanted to risk having a child just like him to take care of. As I got older, it started to be about money and comfort. Having a baby means you have to carry it for 9 months. And then go trot excruciating pain to get it out. And then said baby proceeds to suck money. Time and patience from you for at least 18 years. Probably more. No matter what argument I used, all my relatives keep saying that I was too young to decide that I would change my mind in the future, etc. In my teenage years, I realized I was lesbian. And recently, me and my girlfriend started to consider adopting a kid in the future for the sole purpose of raising them better than our parents raised us. But we haven't decided anything yet. I realized I was lesbian by 14. And started dating a girl at high school when I was 16, not the one I'm currently dating. We broke up after a while. But we are still friends till this day. The problem was, my mom and her part of the family were really religious Jehovah's Witnesses. My dad is atheist and his part of the family, while still religious, they're as accepting of gay people. But my mom's family is way bigger and more present in my life. As I got older, relatives started bugging me about if I was dating someone. It was really awkward because technically yes, I was, but I couldn't say that. So I always answered no. When I turned 18, my aunt, she was always annoying. Even when I was a kid, started setting up dates for me with all the guys around my age at church. I obviously didn't wanted to go. But my mom forced me to, saying, "She's just trying to help you. You should go even if it's just to make her happy." So I ended up suffering 3 different extremely awkward dinners with 3 guys I didn't know. And they looked just as awkward as me. I guess she ran out of young adults to throw me at. So she left me alone, besides the usual, "So are you dating someone?" And the really annoying suggestive looks every time I say no. 3 months ago, I'm 23 now, I got caught with my current girlfriend. I broke up with the first one in the first year of college. We were at a party and she had too many drinks. So I drove her home and gave her a goodbye kiss when I dropped her off. It was still late afternoon, so it wasn't dark yet. So apparently a random old lady that was close friends with my grandmother saw us kissing and told my grandmother, because apparently old religious people have nothing better to do. I had stopped believing in God when I was 12, story for another post, and told my mom when I was 14. She was really upset and mad at me after that. But luckily she didn't tell any of my relatives. Probably because she didn't wanted to deal with the drama that would follow. So the follow-up to the reveal was a wave of relatives worried about me. Jehovah's Witnesses have this thing on how people can change. They basically think being gay is a choice and trying to bring me back to God and stuff. And then came in the aunt I mentioned earlier. She started with the same arguments as everyone else. But then she came in with, "But if you only date girls, you'll never have kids." Already tired of all this drama, I argued back that I didn't even wanted kids. And if I decided to have one in the future, I could always adopt or resort to artificial insemination. She kept bugging me for days with the same arguments. About how I was young and naive and would eventually change my mind. And how children are a gift from God for every woman on earth. That my life would never be complete without one. How a homosexual marriage would never bring me true happiness. And how I would die sad and alone because I didn't had any kids to take care of me when I turned old. After a few days of this, she gave me an ultimatum, not the movie. If I didn't give up on my homosexual relationship, she would tell the church about it. Jehovah's Witnesses have this thing. If you willingly commit a sin and don't show any remorse, you're basically kicked out of the church. That wouldn't be so bad. But after being disassociated, every member of the church is instructed to avoid you. Basically not talk to you and not give any support until you took shame on your actions and apologized. Which would mean half of my family was going to pretend I didn't existed. I was in the middle of college. So I still lived with my parents. Luckily disassociation doesn't include kicking your child out. But I didn't wanted to be trapped in an environment where two people, my mom and my brother, would pretend I didn't existed. So I decided to move out. I live in Brazil. Here public colleges are actually good, at least for your resume. Can't say the same about the structure, so paying for it wasn't a problem. When I explained my plan to my girlfriend, she quickly pulled some strings and managed to recommend me a small apartment near my college that I could rent without selling an organ. But that still meant I was gonna have to find a job. And considering we're in the middle of the coronavirus outbreak, that could take forever. And then, to my surprise, my dad came in when I was talking with my girlfriend Trot video chat. We talked for a long time, and long history short, he wasn't exactly happy about my relationship. But it was less because it was with a girl and more because I never told him. And said that as long as it was making me happy, he would support me. I showed him the apartment I was planning on getting, and he said he would pay the rent for me for the rest of my college years. He then repeated what he used to tell me when I was a teenager: as long as it's something for your education and future, I'll pay for it. I don't think I need to describe how happy and relieved that made me. We now talk with each other daily, and I started contacting his set of the family Trot video chat about my situation. They also support me, and one of my cousins said she would help me with furniture and stuff. I'm currently trapped in my house due to quarantine while I ignore several calls from people from church. But once this is all over, I'll finally be able to cut some people out of my life and never look back. Like and subscribe for more.